Hello, everyone. This isn't me returning. I'm just gonna get that out of the way. This is not me returning or anything like that. This is just me just wanting to get something off my chest once and for all. Because I never really addressed it. I never really did anything with it. But I felt like just now, as I'm starting to get older and I'm starting to, trying to let go of things from my past. I feel like that this is the best way to do it for me, at least, to just put it out there, let go of it, and you know just leave it at that. Because it's something that that's really been bugging me for like the past 5 years now, and I just haven't been able to get over it. But you know, after receiving a message from somebody, that I become friends with, and told this person about my what how I was feeling about everything, they gave me some good advice. By good advice, I mean they just put something into my head that made a lot of sense. And yeah, it makes sense. So let's just get right into it because I don't want to make this like a long, like 20-minute rambling. But so basically, to begin the point of the story, we have to go back to 2018, 2019. This was around the time, in my opinion, when I was at my peak of making videos. I had reached probably at that time around 1,000, 2,000 subscribers at the time. And I had been making YTPs for about a year and a half or two, somewhere between that time. But I'm bringing you back to this time frame because this was around the time when I was starting to meet people within the community, and I started to get more involved in it. I wasn't, I was meeting new friends. I was getting in like different groups and stuff like that, chatting with new people, and yeah, it was just that. But during that time, around September of 2019, or maybe around August or September of 2019, um, I crossed paths with a particular guy who I will name by his name because, it's been 5 years and I don't know if he really cares. And if he does, I don't really care. His name is Max Cross. That's who I'm going to name. I'm not going to name his real name or anything like that. If you want to know his real name, you could easily find it, but I'm not saying you should do that. But yeah, anyway, I met this guy named Max Cross on the internet, and he didn't know who I was in the YTP community. He just knew me from a random account because I just created a random Discord account at the time. And we started chatting. We started becoming friends pretty quickly. He gave me moderation in his server. He let me into his group of friends and stuff, so called friends. And, and yeah, eventually at some point, I told him who I was. Biggest mistake, but, it happened. And so I basically got from there, and it just and basically we just he discovered that I was from the YTP community, and um, yeah, from there. And I do apologize if I do pause for a while. It's because my memory's not that good, and I'm not good with speaking in front of a camera. But back to the story. Quick disclaimer. Um, from there, we he started to be involved in the YTP community. We decided to make a prank one day where he would make a hotline on denouncing YTP, calling it like an evil sin and stuff for his satirical show at the time. Um, and actually, from that, he got some exposure from the YTP community, and at the end of it, people were well, first they were mad because honestly, you don't know what's going on. But then after the show, people were wondering who this guy was. I eventually introduced him to some people of mine, and I think from introducing him to the people that I know was one of the biggest mistakes I've ever done, because you'll see why in a second. So, um, it all seemed good. He was starting to, be involved in the YTP community for a short time, just in this one server, and one day I get a message from one of the moderators, or not the moderator, the owner of the server, who I was friends with, and he told me about like how, or either he told me privately, or he told me through voice, or he told everyone. I don't remember specifically, but he just said, "Hey, you're making this guy is Max Cross is making everyone uncomfortable." And he was making people uncomfortable because he was saying some stuff like, saying like, "Oh, I could do this and that." I don't know what it was, but there was something that made him uncomfortable. It wasn't anything like that was targeting individuals or anything like that. It was just he was just making people uncomfortable from you know just what he was describing at the time. He gave off bad energy basically. Is pretty much what I'm saying. But yeah, I kind of got mad at him because the reason why is because he became one of my best friends. Like I said, I didn't say that at first. We were friends, but it's pretty quickly after we became friends, he became best friends because he gave me ownership to his server and stuff like that. Um, but yeah, back to the story. Basically, eventually I was upset with this owner, with my friend, because I didn't believe him because Max Cross was saying one thing, like he was claiming that, oh, they're over exaggerating things and they're saying stuff that's not true. But then my friends who I've known for way longer than this guy, because I only knew this guy at this point for only 2 or 3 months, and I've known some of these people for like over a year or two, and so I was believing this guy over my friends who I've known for way longer. And, I should be trusting. But I wasn't. But back to the story is that eventually this guy gets kicked from the server. I was upset because, I believe this guy, and, you know, all this and that. And then one day, you know, while we're chatting, and stuff like that, I get a group call from these people. And these people I'm not going to name because, if I do, I'll just say they're my friends. They still are my friends in some way. I don't know if they really consider me their friends anymore, but at the time they were my friends. And even before that, even after that, they were still my friends. But back to the story. Um, I get a group call from these people, and these friends of mine were claiming that, and they wanted me to add Max Cross to the group. So they added Max Cross to the group, and Max Cross joins the call. I joined the call, and so they tell me that my friend had kicked these people from his server, and they wanted revenge. So they wanted Max Cross because they overheard the conversation beforehand, one of his uncomfortable conversations. In that conversation, he said that he could nuke servers, basically nuke Discord servers by, erasing everything or doing everything like that or hacking. I don't know. He just said basically he could destroy a person's server. And so what happened was that that night, they said we need to get revenge on this guy. We need to destroy this guy's server or at least do some damage. And so I did not know what to do. I basically kept my mouth shut, and at first, and then Max Cross obviously was like, "Oh yeah, we can do that." I'm pretty sure he said something along the lines. I don't know. I'm not Max Cross, and I don't. This was like 5 years ago, so I apologize if I'm not accurate with my wording. But anyway, um, basically for the next month or 2 to 4 weeks, I would say, we or they at the time, because I mean I did get into it. I'll be honest, I did get into it because I was in. They basically wanted me to do this. They were kind of pressuring me to do it, and Max Cross wasn't helping. So, um, basically, these people basically comprised a plan to destroy this guy's servers. And one day, we get a hold of one of the moderators of his server, and basically we get access to this guy's account. I didn't do any of this. I'll say I did not hack anything. I don't know how to hack. They did all this. I was just spectating on this particular thing. I was back in the day helping on trying to devise a plan to get this guy's account, but I didn't do anything. I didn't even do anything really to create an effect on it. Um, these people basically came up with majority of the ideas, and I did uh, maybe I attempted one thing, but I didn't do too much. So that's on me. But I'll get back onto that later. So back to what I was saying is that night we got into his account by doing this, and then everyone was like, oh, we got it. Oh, and this guy doesn't know we're in his account. He doesn't know anything about getting into his account. But basically, what they do, before they do all the work, I actually got on a call with Max Cross, and I told him, I don't think we should do this. I was wanting to get out of this because I didn't know what was going to happen. But then he insisted, saying, no, we got to go through with this. Everyone else in the group chat is wanting to do this. So we made that decision after that call ended, and my voice wasn't heard, really. They decided to kick every member from the server, to, you know, basically destroy this guy's server, all the work that this guy put into his server, and basically just kicking every single member. Because they originally wanted to delete the server, but they couldn't. So they kicked everyone. And eventually, and, at first, for some odd reason, I guess it's because I brought Max Cross into this thing, and I was a YTPer. Everyone first knew that there was something wrong. But what I'm going to say is that they thought it was me that hacked the server and destroyed everything. Like, literally kicked everything. Which I will say out of the way, just because I'm revealing everything to you. I did not touch this server. I did not go on my computer and hack into this guy's account. It was done by other people. But I was involved in it. And I'm going to say right now that, yes, I was a part of this. I did not do anything, but I was a part of it. And that's something I'm going to have to live with for the rest of my life on the internet. But going back to the story, everyone doesn't know what's going on. There were people who were mad at me. There were people who were saying, oh, it's me. I can't believe this and that. There was one of my friends that knew that it wasn't really my fault for doing it. He tried to express his voice. I don't know how far that went, but long story short, this friend that I had, who I felt like I betrayed, I wrote a message saying I'm sorry, because I believed too that it was my fault, which it was in some sense, but I mean, at the time I believed everything was on me. I did this, But yeah, long story short, this guy blocks me. I feel horrible about myself, and then, all chaos breaks loose. Everyone's mad at me. Everyone's mad at Max, because even the people who wanted to do this in the first place were mad at Max and me. Which, yeah, be mad at Max because Max could have stopped this. But why be mad at me if I didn't do anything? Now, I could be misremembering, but that's not the point. The point is that it was just, unfortunately, a bunch of events that took place, over the course of 2 weeks that ultimately led to this. And I feel guilty for doing this. Honestly, I feel like after this whole thing happened, people saying they were mad at me and stuff, I felt like I couldn't be a part of the YTP community anymore. Felt like that I betrayed everyone. I betrayed everyone's trust. I betrayed my friends. I just felt horrible for myself. And for 4 years straight, I kept it in. And I even went as far as to try to make a half attempted apology. Not even explaining the whole situation. But, now I just feel like that, 4.5 years of just keeping this in and just feeling horrible myself in the past, I feel like, I'm just ready to let it go. Because the reason, and some of you might be wondering, why are you making this video? This is not necessary, There's no reason to just bring up old drama or anything like that. Well, You know, it's hard keeping it in. I've kept it in for so long. I've never addressed this. I've never gotten off my chest. I don't want to start drama, but I just feel like that it's just time just to let it go. I don't care if anything happens. I don't care about the what people think of me, but I'm just ready just to just let it go. Because I was talking to one of my friends and telling them one day when I was in this kind of mood, saying that I was reminiscing about everything, and I didn't tell them the specific things. I was just talking to them about my past, and they just basically gave me some advice, like not like advice like a full message of what I should do and stuff, but they brought up some words that really stuck with me, and they still stick with me. And it's true. I shouldn't. The past is what happened, and I can't do anything about it. But what I can do is work on the future and continue to be the person that I am and want to be, and hopefully make myself like improve what I did. Not saying that I'm like any better than I already am, but just making things better for the future. So with that, I'm letting this go. I'm just getting it off my chest, and I'm just ready to be done with this old petty drama that that I was a part of. Not really petty because it was a big deal. What I mean by petty is just petty stuff that it's just I don't know. Ignore that part. No, but I'm being serious now, saying that I'm just ready to let go of this old drama. It's not worth it anymore. And if Max Cross decides to come back in my life and tries to, say things, I don't care. If my friend wants to come back, and say things, I don't care either. If everyone hates me, that's fine. I don't care. You know, and also, it's just I'm done with it. It feels good to finally speak about this. And I know I made this video almost 20 minutes long, so I'm going to wrap things up by just saying I'm sorry to the YTP community. I'm sorry to my friends. I'm sorry to the people who put their trust in me to be their friend, to, not really be a role model, because I don't believe I am that. But I just say, just being somebody who, you could trust. And for breaking that trust by getting involved in some unfortunate events that led down to this unfortunate situation. I am truly sorry. I'm sorry to the friends that I betrayed and made upset. I'm also sorry for cutting out people in my life that after this drama, because I just felt like that no one trusted me anymore, no one cared for me. And you know, I'm just ready just to let go of it. I'm genuinely sorry for my past mistakes, but I am ready to start anew. And maybe in the future I'll be able to gain some of these people's trust back. And if I don't, it doesn't matter. I'm just ready to let go of this and start over. So with that being said, I thank you all for watching this long video. If you did make it to the end, I do appreciate you listening to this. And yeah, so I don't really have much else to say. Um, I don't know if I'll ever come back anytime soon. I kind of still need a break because I do enjoy making videos, and I still make videos on my off time. I don't really want to be involved in any videos on YouTube, because I'm still pretty burnt out of publishing things, because then I'll just get in my old habits. And if I do come back to the YTP community, that might be something. It depends on how I feel. But until next time, I thank you all for watching. Um, and yeah, I will see you guys hopefully real soon. And if anyone wants anything of this channel, maybe what I want to do in the future, maybe you guys can give me suggestions. But no, actually, yeah, I don't know. I'm just rambling. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. I gotta go. Yeah, thank you. Bye bye.